Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about how so many of us wait in life for somebody to come in and save us. And I did this for years, honestly. In my mid to late 40s and early 50s, I thought I could find somebody out there that would save me from the really basically the situation that I had created for myself in so many ways. I mean, I was going through financial ruin. Um, I was struggling emotionally. I suffered from depression and anxiety. And I just kept thinking, if I find the right man, then that's going to save me from this. Or maybe a therapist can save me from this. Maybe medication can save me from where I am in my life right now. And it wasn't until I was in my late 50s that I finally basically stumbled upon the answers to saving my own life. And the real reason that I started this channel was to help other people to save their own lives and do it in a much faster way than I did, because honestly, it took me a few years to figure out all of the, different like techniques that I use in my daily life to make it as joyful and fulfilling as my life is now. Completely different than the life I was living in my late 40s and, to mid 50s. I just want to help people to do it a lot faster because, I fell off the wagon a couple years ago, so to speak. I stopped practicing all of the things like meditation and EFT and gratitude and all that stuff. And I thought, I'm good, I'm okay. And completely fell off the wagon and went into depression and anxiety again. But this time, I knew how to bring myself out of it. And really, I brought myself out of it in probably a month. And that's the reason why I want to show other people how I did that, because it doesn't have to take years. So that's really what my channel is about. And that's also why I created the book, The Bliss Tribe, to walk you through that 4-week, system that I used that completely changed my life. And I do have that book available. And I also wanted to mention that I have now moved my other 2 books to the same platform where I had the Bliss Tribe. So I have the Bliss Tribe book. It's really a printable PDF. And that is basically a 4-week plan to completely change your life and shift your mindset to a positive one. Then I have Becoming You Again, my book for seniors, and how to, incorporate more joy into your life. And then I have my book, Breaking Free, which is a book about parental narcissism. So if any of those interest you, they are all linked below. And like I said, now they're all on the same platform, and I will no longer be selling on Buy Me a Coffee anymore. So just wanted to make that clear. And like I said, they'll be linked below, so you don't have to go to Buy Me a Coffee anymore to buy them. So like I said, I spent a good deal of my late 40s, early 50s just searching for, doing the online dating thing, thinking somebody was going to come into my life and save me. And then when I was in my late 50s, through a therapist, she started me on the EFT thing. And then I found Brad Yates and his channel on EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique Tapping. And that just started me on this whole journey, that probably took a couple years to get to the point of I really felt like my life was completely changed. And like I said, I can walk you through this so much faster. But I am so thankful that I finally discovered this, that I don't have to look outside myself for someone to save me, that I have everything inside that I need. Like, I don't need someone to validate me. I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need approval or permission to have a happy and fulfilling life. And you don't need that either. And what I try to teach so much on my channel is to start to bring that focus back to yourself and stop looking outside yourself for validation and stop looking to the past and to the future and start focusing on right now. And stop thinking that there's something out there that's going to save you other than yourself. I can't tell you like how freeing this is once you figure this out. Like, you don't need to look outside yourself. You can save yourself right now. You can get your life back. You can have a happy life. You can wake up in the morning excited about your day. And all you have to do is walk through the steps that I teach here: gratitude, EFT, meditation, all of those things. But the biggest thing is bringing the focus back to now and bringing the focus back to yourself. And I would like you to just spend a day, spend tomorrow, and be aware of your thoughts and how much time do you spend thinking about other people and worrying about what other people think of you, or worrying about your adult children, or worrying about, something somebody said to you. How much of your life is spent doing stuff like that instead of thinking, what do I want to do with my life? What do I need right now? What would make me happy right now? And once you start to change this thought process and stop focusing outside yourself for either somebody to save you or, focusing outside yourself for validation and, like I said, permission and approval, you will slowly start to think of what you really want to do with your life. Because you've spent so many years thinking about other people that you totally lost the capacity, probably, to think about what you want and think about what you really enjoy doing. Like this weekend, what do you want to do? Are you going to do what you want to do, or are you going to do what the people around you want to do? This process took me a while. When I first started this process, like I said, I started doing the EFT, and then I came across people like Bob Proctor, Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, and I just started consuming that stuff. But I slowly began to realize that it really was just so much of this is so simple. Like, I realize everybody goes through really hard times in their life. My father died in a car accident. I know what it feels like to feel horrible grief, like shock and grief. But think about just your day-to-day life when you're not going through some tragedy. How easy would it be to just pick a more positive thought? Just instead of focusing on, oh, I only have $2,000 in my checking account. Instead, focus on, wow, I've got $2,000 in my checking account. I have enough money to pay my bills. Just little things like that. Just train your mind to focus on the positive. Kind of the frustrating thing is, I think a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but some people seem to do this naturally. Like, we all know somebody that's just positive all the time. And it's like, why do some people get to be born like that and others of us have to train our minds? But it really is possible to train your mind to think more positively. And this is life-changing. This changes your reality. It literally changes your reality, because instead of looking at your reality in a negative sense, and you start to look at those little positive things, those things to be grateful for, and learning how to redirect your thoughts to positive things, this completely changes your life. And as you start to change the way that you look at your reality will slowly start to change for the better. And this isn't woo-woo garbage. You know, I remember one time somebody bought me the book when I was going through that really hard time in my mid to late 40s. Somebody bought me the book, The Secret. And I just thought, oh, this is just a bunch of garbage. And I do think that sometimes you're just in such a negative place that somebody like me that's preaching positivity just can't get through to you. But hopefully, eventually, you will see that it really does work, and that by simply being aware of your thoughts and redirecting your thoughts will change the way that you see your reality. And in turn, it will change what reality comes to you. I just want to show you how to, like, find yourself again. Because if you're my age, or, you know, maybe just over 50 or older, and you just feel like, I don't know where I went, I just want to be able to show you how to find yourself again. And it's not that hard of a process. But I can't, you know, if you're going through a really hard time like I was, you know, I can't rescue you, but I can show you how you can rescue yourself. So I hope this video was helpful. And like I said, I've got 3 books below. All of them are helpful. The one that I would probably most highly recommend, if you really want to get into it, is The Bliss Tribe, because that walks you to 30 days, walks you through 30 days to change your life. But if you're worried about a narcissistic parent, by Breaking Free. If you're older and you just want to know how to create a more joyful life in this stage of your life, then Becoming You Again might be helpful to you. So I hope this video finds you well, and I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.